So Jeremy, it has now been 1 year since this partnership began. From the day we got the phone call from Tucker saying, hey, we'd like to come and meet with you in your office in Atlanta. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that day and how this whole thing began. So Lee and I got the phone call and immediately thought, oh shoot, what have we done wrong? Why did they want to come talk to us? And you showed up and could not have been more pleasant. And we thought, well, he's being awfully nice to deliver bad news. And we toured the facility. And then I think Lee asked you a pretty pointed question.
He did. He looked me right in the eyes across the table and said, I've got a question for you. I said, sure. He said, why are you here? And it's a great question, especially looking back on how this relationship developed. And you know, the answer was, the simple answer was, I really wanted to get to meet you all, and I love the product that you do. I love the mission you have, and I wanted to see how we could work together to promote safety throughout the game of football and to promote education and optionality. But I do remember that, you know, I've been in the sporting goods quite a while, but within football really just came on board in 2023. It was about that time, right, where the Guardian Cap, especially at the NFL level, was getting so much publicity and so much awareness of the benefits that it was bringing at the NFL level, and how could we trickle that down right throughout all ages of football. And the product that you've come out with, I think, is just fantastic, and we want to be a part of that.
Well, we feel like family now.
Absolutely.
We're all family.
Absolutely.
I think that when Vices first came out, I will say, you know, we were blown away by the innovation with Vices. And so we were so excited to see that Certor was taking Vices on, and the exciting things that were happening with Shut. And so for us to have a major manufacturer step up to the plate and say, hey, we really like what you're doing and would love to work with you any way we can was surprising, to say the least, but so very welcomed.
I think we share that same vision of what we really want to do is continue to bring innovation and products to, again, the top of the chain in terms of NFL athletes, down to high school, down to youth football. And let's protect those kids and those grown men and enjoy the sport we've all grown to love.
But I don't think people realize what an anomaly that is in this space. You know, there's a major player that's been around for a very long time that tends to have a not invented here mentality. And so it makes it that much more difficult to help the athletes that you've been called to serve. And so for you to come in and be willing to even have that conversation was huge. So people have asked me, so what does this partnership look like? And I said, there's really no limits on this partnership. You know, as we see new technology through our Hanson group, our material science side of the business, and we vet different new technologies, the first thing we do is say, you know, I wonder what Shut and Vices can do with this. And so, you know, to be able to collab on things is really exciting. We have our loop headband now for flag. Flag is an exciting new sport that's growing like crazy, involving girls, which is the first girl sport in a long time.
Absolutely.
And so to be able to have that loop, 5-star rated, least expensive, 5-star rated product, you know, with the mission being to serve as many athletes as possible, affordability was a big issue to us. And so the first thing we did is said, hey, you guys want to do this with us?
Yeah, I think it's another shared trait and value that we have, which is continued innovation. We didn't arrive at a destination together, we're on a journey together. And I think we've shown that on the Guardian Cap side and tackle football. And I fully believe we're going to continue to cooperatively develop new products, both hard shell helmets, protective outer helmets, and the combination of the two, right? I think we've got still a lot of runway ahead of us in terms of developing that, and the loop product in flag football, as you say, female and a male sport, soon to be an Olympic sport. And the applications of that Loop 2.0 product across areas outside of both tackle and flag.
Sure.
Cheerleading and other sports,
and
I think.
Volleyball and
Absolutely.
basketball, who knows where it'll go.
Absolutely.
And we've got some exciting new technology going into baseball, so I'm sure we'll be working on that together. So, you know, we always like to say the sky's the limit. You know, there's no shortage of dreams out there, so we're going to keep seeing what comes down the pike and figuring out how to work together.
And our collective job is to allow all of those athletes to chase those dreams.
Exactly.